Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well, staying safe, healthy in this winter. It's already very cold. So, today we're going to do a fun exercise. Well, not exercise, drawings. And yes, my camera is focusing. I have to keep an eye. Um, I had trouble earlier, but yeah, hope everybody's doing good. Um, we're going to do today a drawing of a snowman. Okay, very simple, and then some expressions, facial expressions that you could either do on realistic drawings that you'll do of people, right, faces, or cartoons, and how those come to be, because the same things happens to our faces even if you simplify them as a cartoon, just like the snowman who will be smiling, or other expressions. And the snowman, even though we're going to draw it, okay, and shade it in pencil, you could draw it and color it in color pencils on your own time, or markers. And I was thinking you could also make cards with those. So if you bought already your holiday cards, you can make a few by hand. That's priceless to do something by hand. Um, and they'll have a snowman, different versions of your snowman. Um, yeah, ready to get started. I have a couple of pencils. I have even more on the side. Um, a pencil sharpener, and my pencils have a good eraser. Um, okay, and then I took a paper and I cut it in half at 8.5 by 11. But if you have um, a 9 by 12, that works out too, right? It will become a 6 by 9. And the 8.5 by 11 will become 8.5 by 5.5. Um, okay, so here's the paper. We're gonna keep it vertical because the snowman will be standing up, right? Going vertical. And let's get started. We One thing I want to say with the, well, when I get to the facial expressions, is something you could also keep to refer to it as a resource, and then put it on the wall or the area that you're going to be drawing. Okay, I hope you on your own time you're also drawing. Okay, carry paper, pencils, pens on your own time, and sketch or draw here and there. So I already got started with some circles. They're going to be 3 circles, right, from big at the bottom, medium, and small at the top. And we're going to leave enough room up here. Every time we do something vertical, standing, like a tree or something, it's always good to leave enough room at the top, okay, um, from the paper, because visually, right, something is going up. It's good to leave room for the space at the top. Visually, that's how we see it, right, going from down up. So if we don't leave enough room, it's going to be very obvious that is it's not completed, or you didn't plan well. So we're going to leave enough room up here. Each circle or sphere of snow, ball of snow, one will be over the other. So the top ones will be on top of, over the ones that are under. And yeah, so let's get started with this first technique. So when you do shapes like this for drawings, it could be squares, triangles. Um, in this case, it will be a circle. You could start making the circle even before you touch the paper, how you want it, right? Then you touch the paper, you're creating your shape, and you continue doing the shape. You continue doing the shape, keeping an eye on what you're doing, because what you're doing is you're fixing the shape as you draw. fixing it, and getting it as circular, right, and perfect as you can and you want. So we won't use stencils or templates for this. We're going to use our eye. But I want you to get into the habit, okay? So half bottom of the paper, a little lower than that, goes the first circle right in the middle. Ready? I'm going to start making my circle even before I touch the paper. Then I touch the paper, and I can decide if I want to make it bigger, more rounded in one area, right? So look how I started here, and I already know I want to do it bigger. So I move it maybe to the right. See, I can tell already, and I keep going, and I'm fixing my circle as I go. So you go over and over and over, more to the right. As I move to the right, I got to make it bigger. Maybe here needs a little more, a little extra push to make it circular. Doesn't matter if it gets too dark, because we could erase the shape and fix it. But you see how that's good, I think. Um, yeah, I could erase some of this. I think this is good. So now with the eraser, you see, I can see that this is a circle and it should come maybe around here. So I don't need this extra stuff, especially on this side and on the inside too. When I started very smaller. That's why there was a lot of pencil here to the left. Perfect. A little more. I think this is good. So that's our first circle. I hope you're here with me. Let's see if it looks better like this. This is good. We'll be erasing later and cleaning it up a little more. Okay. Okay. So, second, obviously smaller than this one, over it. So it's not just gonna touch. It's not gonna touch the edge. It's gonna go over it. That way, it will look like it's resting on top of this one. So it needs to go over it. So let's get started. You see, I'm making the circle. Not the same size. Medium. This is big. Now comes medium. But pretty big enough, not too. There you go. Maybe bigger. So bigger means more lines on the outside. That's okay. Maybe I feel like I want to make it a little tiny bit bigger. So now I'm going to erase inside because I kept on making it bigger. That's why it's so dark and thick, because I kept on expanding my lines because I wanted it a little bigger. Excuse me. And out of these two circles, right, they're overlapping here. I'm not going to erase this bottom one here, this line, because this one is on top of this one. I'm going to erase this one, the line that goes over here. Watch. 1, 2, 3. This gets erased. The overlapping part of the bottom one. And now it looks like this one in the middle is on top of the bottom one. Right, because we cannot see the rest of the bottom one because this one is blocking. Now we have the third one and last circle or ball of snow, obviously smaller than this, but not too small. So I'm going to start right here, making my circle and make contact about now. I keep realizing right away that I should be a little bigger, so that's why my pencil goes on the outside, you see. I want to have room. So don't make them too, they are different from each other in size, but not too drastically. You see how this one is smaller, but it's not like way too small. And it's leaning a little bit to the left, so I have to bring it to the right. That's why this side is darker, you see, because I realize it is going this way. So I want to push it to the right. So I'm making more lines to the right. And now I erase. I think I'm happy with it. So I erase some of the lines that are overdoing it. And the same thing, I won't erase this bottom overlapping of the top small one. I will erase the middle one overlapping over the small one. And that will show that the small one is on top of the middle one. You see that right here? Okay, so we have our 3 balls or circles of snow. Eventually, you could do this with pen too, even if you cannot erase. You could build it with pen because we're going to shade it. Okay, so we're going to shade it later. So clean it, but don't go crazy cleaning it because we're going to shade it. Um, and yeah, the thing with pen is that you can't really erase pen, but you could control where you make your marks. And um, yeah, so here's our snowman. We're going to build him by making um, buttons in his body, right, with black rocks. We're gonna make, and the eyes, I guess. His nose will be a carrot. Then we'll have a hat, like a regular, real hat. And then we'll have branches for his hands and a scarf between these 2 balls, which represents the neck. And I think that's it. Yeah, simple. And your version of it will be your version of it, and it will still be a snowman. Okay, the way I do my branches are my branches. If you want to do them the same way, if you want to do yours thinner, darker, I don't know, it will still look like a snowman. Okay. Awesome. You see how these circles are being built as we go. Okay. So why don't we start with the scarf? And it's because the scarf could cover other things. So we're gonna do the scarf, and the way you do the scarf is we have to erase obviously the middle part here of the contact between the small and the medium, but we're gonna do a little bump here and here, a little bump before we erase here and here, and that shows the limits of the scarf. It's gonna be here, right? So now I erase everything in between. And I need 2 lines to denote the neck, how the scarf is covering it. So I'll still go down just like the circle, but not all the way exactly where the circle is. Maybe if you want, but close to it. Remember what the circle was? Close to that same type of circle. So you see, right there. And remember how we did these bumps? They define the thickness of the scarf. So from here to here, and now from here to here. But it has to go down curve. You see, it's almost like a neck brace that they give you at the hospital if you hurt your neck. That's our scarf defined. And then coming down here will be the same thickness here, but coming down. Maybe on the side towards the left. Do it towards the left because the buttons, we're not going to do everything perfectly in the middle. We're going to turn everything like the face, buttons, as if he's tilting a little to the right. So like about here, everything will be lined up, not in the center. Okay. You could do it in the center, but I'm going to do it a little bit to the side to add a little realism. So that means the scarf, I don't want to blocking what's on the right. I want to push it to the left a little. So you see this thickness here of the scarf? We're going to bring it down. So it's about this thickness. This thickness is this thickness. It comes down, you see, and that's the scarf. Then some scarves have little, fabric here coming down. There you go. You see, switch pencils if your pencil is not. And don't worry, I'm cleaning a little, but I don't really even need to. I'm doing it so you can see better the image. Don't go crazy cleaning it because we're gonna shade it, remember? All right, so we did the scarf. If you wanna create some patterns, sure, you could create lines, like that are darker. If you color them, they could be red, but you get the idea. So this could be, look, see? So this represents, if I was coloring in pencil, then I will paint this green or red or, okay. But you get the idea. We just created the scarf. Okay. The eyes, mouth, well, the mouth and the chest buttons are little black rocks, so they could be shaped not exactly perfectly circular. So the mouth is going to be a smile. So maybe, look, make the line or curve of a smile. Um, not too strong because you're going to do it in little rocks. And he goes here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a big smile. And I'm going to shade it very light. I mean, they're dark, but not too dark because I want to do the eyes very black. So same thing with the buttons here, maybe 3 and 2 at the bottom. So 3 here, and let's curve them. You see how this is a sphere? So you'll see that when we shade it, but let's put the buttons of his body not straight, but curved, just like, because they're a little bit to the right. So what I mean is, look, 1, 2, 3. You see how they're curved, following the pattern of a curve sphere. And then here, 2 more curve also. So maybe here's 1, and here's the second, because it's like curve. And I'm going to shade in a little darker, just like the things in the mouth. You see everything is curved here because this is a sphere. So look, it follows the pattern, and here it follows the pattern. Big of a. It's almost as if, let me show you here. It's almost like if when you make a circle or a sphere, there's these lines that go from the middle out like a pumpkin. So if I do these circles, they will line up in this line, and they'll create the pattern that is circular, kind of like a globe. Okay, so Now let's do the nose, which is a carrot coming out of the middle here between the mouth, about here, sticking to the right. This is why it's good not to do everything center in the middle, because then the carrot triangle, sorry, it is the shape of a thin triangle, but it will be, since it's facing you, you won't see it like you're looking at the pencil to the side. You will see it coming straight at you like that because you put it right in the middle. But if you tilt it to the right a little, it will be, you see, showing the side of it. So the side is a very thin triangle. There you go. Very thin triangle. And the eyes are bigger, perfectly circular because they're like buttons. So one go here and one go here. You know, they're like buttons, or but that works. Okay, the hat. We're almost done. The hat, the hat, the hat. um, the hat. You see the circular top of the hat? We're gonna cover a little bit of that, as if the hat went in. You know, so you don't see, you cannot see the edge corner here. Um, okay. So let's erase a little bit of that. Let's just erase it right about there. And now I make it straight. Let's make it more obvious. Make it straight right there. You see how it's cut off like a straight line? And then make a shape like this, like a no, like a, it's a straight line up here, but then it curves around behind the head here a little, behind the head a little. And this will be shaded lightly, lightly, because it's a dark hat. And now it's a top hat, so it will go up. I have it not going straight up because you see how this is going a little skewed to the side, not straight. It's not straight like this. It's a little skewed to the side. So that's how the hat is also going to go up a little bit to the side. So up and up, and maybe about this height, not too high. This is why it was good also to leave that space that I told you at the beginning from the paper, because it was going to have a hat. So there was a space from the last small circle to up here. Okay, so I'm erasing some of the lines that created the circles that are make the circle very thick. We're gonna shade the snowman, but we really don't need these lines to be too thick because they're dark. But when we shade them, we'll see. But we need the arms. You see, I'm erasing the not necessary lines. Okay, I'm gonna shade the hat entirely gray to, just like when we did it here. And then now I am going to make a band here from down here to here, darker, a little darker. I'm not going over the area where he, you know, this curves, because it's different. It's the bottom that we're seeing from the hat. But this part, it's like there's a band. And I think it works. It's okay. It did work. You see, we need the arms, the background, so he's standing somewhere or resting somewhere, and then we'll clean it up. And sorry, shade it and clean it up. So to make him stand somewhere, you just draw a line halfway behind this big circle, halfway, the half of this circle, not on the circle, not on the ball, behind it. So right here, you see, but that line has to continue on the other side. So now, because I did this line behind it, it looks like he is grounded somewhere. And this right here is the, not the horizon, but background. Does that make sense? So when, before we added this just line, that, but the fact that this is here and here shows continuation. We just don't see here because this is in front of the line, right? The circle, the ball is in front of the line. But what the line gives us is like the ground where he's resting. So now he's not floating. And if you remember or recall doing branches, one is gonna come out behind this circle because we're looking at him a little tilted to the right. You see how he's facing this way a little. And then the arm here to the left, actually we see where it comes here in the circle, while this one is behind the the edge of the sphere, the circle. So let's start with this one, and it comes, doesn't just come out, to the side. It comes out to the side, but up, up, like if he's raising almost his hands a little, and it comes up, and it branched out. So the way it branched out, it's just like the way we have done branches all this time, like a letter V, and maybe one of these branches out more. See, and that's it. There's like a pattern of, it comes out, breaks into a V, that breaks into another V. You see, another V. You can continue, but we don't want to go too crazy because it's not a tree, it's just a branch. Now this one, what I meant to say is that it doesn't come out at the edge because it's not hidden. We're gonna actually see where it comes out from the body of the snowman. You see the difference between this, which is behind the circle, and this one, which we can actually see where it comes out, because he's facing to the right. So now we're gonna see more of the left. You see, because everything is not center in the middle, it's towards the right. You see, the pencil is marking the middle, and most of his body and face is to the right of the pencil. The eyes, the nose. So that shows us a little more over here of the left. And same pattern. So it breaks apart into the letter V, and that letter V creates more letter V's. So one V, another V, and maybe there's a V here. That's how we make our, you see that? So again, this is our snowman. We're gonna shade it now, which is very, you'll see how simple it is. We're just shading the snowballs, like the body. That's all we shade and give it a little shadow to ground him more. And even though this is done in pencil again, I want to emphasize that you could draw this in pen or markers and color it. So if you want to color it to make a card, Christmas card, um, you can just color the scarf red and white. The everything is black. The snow is white, obviously, and the nose will be orange because it's a carrot. That type of thing. Okay, so let's shade now. I'm gonna shade the left side, so of the circles or snowballs. That means that there be more shading, just very lightly. Always start lightly, and we're gonna do it very lightly. It's gonna be a very lightly shaded. So we're gonna start shading lightly. You see the left side, not the right, the left side of this head, the left side over here. And this helps with camouflaging, if you want to say, camouflaging all these lines that we created. They now look like it's part of the shading process. So this one will have a little more surface shading because it's bigger. That's all. And because it's the left what is shaded, then the shadow is casted towards the left, meaning the right side is receiving the light. You see how I started very light and I can build upon. I'm defining the left side darker. I'm making this side darker than this side because it's the shaded. I'm sorry, the outline. I meant the outline. And I could actually probably light with the eraser the other side a little more because it's the one receiving the light. Perfect. The branches maybe or arms a little darker if you went over with your hand. Yeah, this is it. I'm gonna put a shadow and that's it. But please feel free to draw it again and again and again and again. Get better at it. Color it. Use markers or colored pencils. I'm just defining some of the outlines of some of the things, but I purposely define the outline on the left darker than the right because that's where um, the shadows are casted. You see, the left of everything is getting a little more um, darkness. Even these buttons, you could look instead of going all around them. I only do the left side, and they look three dimensional now. Does that? You see how these buttons look a little more realistic now? But I just went around the outline on the left, not the right, and that cast a little shadow on them. I could do it with the mouth too. It's just add realism. Perfect. Let's cast a shadow on the left at the bottom here. Very gentle, darker, closer to the sphere, lighter coming out, lighter, 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 until it disappears, but darker when it comes close to the circle. And we are good. This is our snowman. So now we're gonna do maybe, I don't know what time gives us 3 or 4 or 5, but about maybe three, definitely 3 to 4 different expressions. And I'm thinking of making a video just of the expressions. There's so many, right? And if you make a card, I'm gonna clean up the drawing and sign it because you see every time let me show you. If I push my hand like that, look, it's like drawing. You see how it's dirty in the paper? So I'll have to raise that. Yeah, if you make a card or messages, or you could make a character and put expressions, happiness, surprise, birthday cards. Even when you do cartoon animals, we give them expressions, human expressions, and it works. We as humans Um, I've done videos about how to draw the face, but we could take it step by step. And I'll say it again. I always say this, um, but think about it. When you wake up in the morning, we're social beings. Humans are social beings, meaning if someone is raised in the jungle isolated, they'll be suffering, right, for years if there's no socialization with other humans. We are in our DNA meant to socialize with other human beings, as we're animals and that's part of our nature. So saying that means that when we wake up in the morning until we go to bed, we look at each other and we see thousands of faces, and we're by evolution we're used to read those faces unconsciously, so we can see if someone is not happy, surprised, scared, right? We can see those right away. Sorry, read those facial expressions and react to it, or so. And like I said, and now with media, right? TV, videos, magazines, there's even more faces we see. So drawing the face is a good um, skill as an artist to have, and understand how to express emotions or expressions. So I'm gonna go over the snowman, leave it here in a wide shot, and bring it closer for its parts, and then move to our faces. Next step. So from the bottom, this is the snowman. This is the first circle, you see, and you see how the outline of the left of these things is more pronounced, and it's like it's casting a shadow. The second circle is right here with the branches and the scarf on focus, and then this is the head, um, and the hat. And I didn't want to mess too much with the nose. I didn't want to make it too dark. I'm gonna go over it very extremely lightly because it's orange, so it shouldn't be. It should be a little darker than the snow of the face. So I'm gonna go over it as I put the paper down, but don't make it too dark because then we lose the representation that it is a carrot. Okay, but if you, again, if you were coloring this with colored pencils or whatever, or any medium, you will use the actual color. Okay, so the nose, a little tiny, shaded lightly, and this is our drawing. Okay, let's get to our faces. These are very cartoony just to get the expression. Okay, I'm gonna turn it to the side, bring the camera closer. And why don't we do maybe about four, at least four. Happy, sad. There's so many, but let's do happy, sad. Um, let's do four up here. So in the heads, this is cartoonic because we just want the expression. So I'm dividing the paper. I wanna leave space for four more down here. So basically, I'm taking the paper horizontally, okay, and I'm going to just use this top part, half of it. Just use the top half. Here's one. Here's two. These are like eggs, like oval. Three, just the top, and four. Okay, this is very big, but great. So let's do the classic one, happy. So happy, and for some reasons, I'll use more details in certain things than others. But when we do a real face, we'll just not emphasize those parts. So if we're highlighting something, obviously we will emphasize those parts. If we're not emphasizing an area, then you kind of tone it down. But in a cartoon, you could get away with just not even representing that. Um, so happy. Imagine the eyes are here. This is the eyes, right? Two eyes, the nose, and the smile, right? This is happy. Let's put some hair. Let's define more the face. And some hair coming down and the neck. This is why I said it's cartoony. But I want to put the eyebrows because the eyebrows are very expressive, okay? Eyebrows are extremely expressive and necessary for us. Maybe so one eyebrow curve, one eyebrow curve. You see how that's happy, right? So what happens when someone is sad? This turns opposite. So if the face was going up, sorry, the mouth was going up, in this next one, forgot the ears. Let's do the ears. I'm doing the hair. Right, in this next one, the neck. Is it focusing? Come on. Focus for me, please. There you go. There you go. That's good. So in this one, it's sad. The mouth becomes opposite. So if it was going up for smile, sad is look down. Okay. Now something that also happens with sad. In this one, let's put the eye inside, to show more expression. So let's make the eyes like this. So happy, sad, but look what I'm gonna do now with the eyebrows. Eyebrows are extremely important, okay? And obviously, if you're doing a realistic drawing, you don't have to do them cartoony, but it will still be this way. And it's the following. They will be slanted towards the outside. You see how that changed his expression? And I could even make her a little more happy. Watch if I open her mouth a little. So usually, if you smile like this, if you smile and you keep your mouth closed, you are content. You're happy, but you're content. Maybe you're more happy, look, when you open your mouth. I put some teeth and darken the inside of the mouth. But we can agree that she's more happy just because she opened her mouth. It's a little more vulnerable. And he's sad just because we turn out those eyebrows. Now, look what happens. Let's do the two shape of the heads before we do the inside. So I'm trying to diversify here. So um, ears, ears, curly hair too, but this time the girl has one, two ponies like that. I'm just trying to diversify. Let's darken his hair and her hair. Okay, so we'll do this too. And then expressions, and maybe I'll make another video full of this type of expressions. Is this something you enjoy and learn? And I'll show you how in a more realistic picture or drawing or photograph, they will keep the same pattern. This is how we are put our faces. It's just I'm just simplifying in a cartoony way so you can see it, and it's easier for you to draw it and see it and exaggerate it. Okay, it's a little exaggerated. All right, so let's do the last shape form for this guy. Ears, shape of the head, ear, and then this time he just has we haven't done the inside of the head because we don't know the emotion yet. I mean, I know, but I'm going to tell you in a moment. And maybe he has hair like this. Okay. And the neck. So we have four guys: happy, sad, um, surprise. We're gonna do surprise. So look at surprise. Remember surprise? I told you she's gonna be surprised. So nose, it's nose. But surprise, we're gonna open the mouth. Like you're surprised. You're gonna open your eyes bigger. So that means eyes are gonna be bigger. Okay. And the eyebrows again. Remember, I keep saying eyebrows are very expressive. Eyes are gonna go up, but very higher than this. Look, higher. And this is really what happens with us. We're taking it in. We're taking in, right? I could in the other video, if I talk about expression, tell you what's happening, body language, um, of why these things, but and happy, sad, surprise, and then this one is um mad. Okay, not furious or angry, like really passionate, just mad. So Matt, let's do his nose. So with Matt, the mouth should be either down like this or neutral. So I'm going to put a neutral, which is a straight line. You see? I'm gonna put his eyes just like all the others. But check out the eyebrows. I keep saying eyebrows are very expressive, right? Watch what happens. It's the opposite to this one. So I'm gonna write here happy, and we end with this sad, surprise. Maybe with a chart like this, we could title it "How You Feeling Today." You've seen those posters. "How You Feeling Today" is the title, and then all the different expressions. And then this guy is gonna be. I know he doesn't look yet, okay, but he's gonna be mad. Watch the eyebrows. So it's the opposite to this. If in sad they went slanted towards the outside, with mad they're slanted towards the inside. So slanted, slanted. You see how his expression completely changed just because of the eyebrows. So now he looks mad. And on the next video, when I do more expressions, I'll show you angry or furious, which will be bigger than this. And then a tip I'm telling you ahead will be showing teeth, right? If you get really angry, then you start showing teeth. And you biting your teeth. Okay, so I thought this will helpful just to start. I know they're cartoony and funny, but it makes us understand what we do with our faces when we feel this way. Let me give her more head. Okay, we're finished with this. This is fun. And yeah, I'll make on the video for the expressions. Hold on, let me get this focus. On the video of the expressions that I'll do next, we'll literally title it "How You Feeling Today" on the top, and then we'll do as many of these as we can. And the idea is that you can, in the morning, point out to how you feeling. That'll be fun. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. This was fun doing this cartoony things. Let me put the snowman right next to it. I know the snowman is will always be happy and smiley. We want our snowman to be happy. Great. So stay safe. Like I said, bring this up. Stay safe. Happy right over here. And look at yourself in the mirror when you do this, right? Try to replicate these faces in the mirror, and you'll see that that happens. Your eyebrows actually go like that. And I mean, not exaggerated like this, but we need to exaggerate it to make the point. Okay. Yeah. Stay safe. I'll see you all soon, and have a great week.